Yo, 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 what's the dealio, y'all? What's the dealio? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling, man? It's Sunday, so y'all already know what time it is, man. We about to figure out what the game plan is for this week, all right? So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all right? If you guys want to come trade with us, be sure to come trade with us, all that good stuff. But we about to get it in today, man. So say what's up in the comments. Let me know where y'all tuning in from, and be sure to like this video, y'all. All right. Let's see what we got popping. Chaos, what's up? Best Beezy, what up? Kevin, what's up? He said, I love your unfiltered knowledge and consistency. Hey, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. I'm showing up every single day. All right. What's up, Sherry? So I'm still pretty positive on MLTX and SIL. Your videos are smashing. Absolutely, my pleasure. My pleasure. Check out KDP. Okay, I'll check those out. Yeah, I've been paying attention to MLTX. It hasn't made a big move yet, so I've been really kind of just waiting to see some momentum. But I do like that setup for sure. Shout out to Orlando. What's up, Jerry? How you feeling, Jerry? What up? Johnny, what's up, Johnny? How you feeling? How you feeling? Hey, y'all, if you guys are just tuning in, man, say what's up in the comments. Like this video, right? Let's make sure we get this video by the time we finish to 100 likes, all right? Let's get this video to 100 likes. That's a new standard on these lives. Every live, we got to do 100 likes minimum, all right, while we live. Okay, so be sure to like this video, and we about to get into it, all right? Pam, what's up, Pam? How you doing? How you feeling? Andrea, what up? What up? What's up, Craig? How you feeling? Yeah, Kevin. Shout out to Kevin, man. All right. So yeah, as y'all come on in, be sure to like this video and let me know in the comments where y'all tuned in from. Augusta in the building. What up, Big O? Joy, she said she here from Florida. Shout out to Florida. She said you're encouraging me so much. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm able to help you. All right. What up, Sean? How you feeling? Reggie, what's up, Reggie? How you doing? How you doing? All right, y'all. So we gonna get into it. We gonna get into this week's watch list. We gonna analyze the market and all of that stuff, right? Genesis, what up? So first thing I'm gonna say about the market this week, y'all, it's going to be a very interesting week. Okay. The reason why I say that, based off of price action alone, is going to be a very interesting week. The reason why I say it's going to be a very interesting week is because we had a very bearish Friday, right? We all know that. And a lot of people did get cooked. A lot of people did get cooked. If you, I'm going to just say it, if y'all wasn't in the Prosperity Collective, right, a lot of y'all got faked out. And I know that because on a daily, on Thursday, going into Friday, it looked like things was about to be going up. And then they rejected off of those previous day highs, right? And then everything sold off. And some stocks looked like they was going up at first. They went up. And then what happened? They sold off, right? So listen, y'all, if y'all watching me every day and you ain't in the Prosperity Collective and then you took a L on Friday, like a big L, a nasty one, it's time to join, all right? So that way you on the right side of these trades, okay? So what's up, Craig? Henry, what's up, Henry? TDW, what's up? He said Elm City, North Carolina. Big Smash, salute. What up, all right? So we gonna get into it, man, but I just wanted to kind of break down what was going on Friday and last week. But also the reason is so that because there's so many bearish looking setups from Friday, that could skew the data a little bit and it could skew what things are looking like. Now, some stocks, I did see that where they closed at, we closed in an area where there's a lot of buyers, right? So even though things look bearish, we could bounce, right? We could just bounce and go right back up. Or what we could do is we could come up a little bit tomorrow on Monday, and then we could come down on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, we could recover and then go to the upside, right? And then that could lead us into next week, which would basically be the Santa Claus rally that lasts like 8 to 10 days of the year and of the month, right? So I'm always looking at what is the price action telling me, and then what is what's going on in the economy, what's going on in the market right now, what time of the month is it as well, right? Because you could see a setup and you could know when that setup is going to pan out based off of what day it is, right? What time of the month it is. Is it the end of the month? Is it the beginning of the month? Like, these are all things that you could kind of like gauge, and it could give you a little unfair advantage, right? So these are just things to keep in mind. So we do have bearish setups, but we did come down to some support levels depending on what stock you're looking at. So don't be surprised if the stock just bounces on Monday, right? So that's why we need to know our levels and we need to know our areas of interest. All right. So I wanted to start off saying that. So anything that I say this week, I want you guys to make sure that you're fact checking and you're doing your own due diligence as well, right? None of this is financial advice. If you want financial advice, go see and talk to a licensed financial advisor, right? But I wanted to give you guys an overarching kind of view of what I'm seeing. And I'm a break everything down on the charts and all of that, but I want to make sure that I'm laying a foundation and I'm giving you guys a preface to this whole live for today and going into the week, right? I'm not sitting here saying just get in the calls and just get in the puts. No, right? We're going to actually do a full analysis and breakdown so that we have a full view of the actual market, okay? So if you guys are just tuning in, be sure to like this video. All right, by the time we get off this live, let's make sure we get this video to 100 likes. All right, I'm gonna give you guys levels for SPY, IWM. I'm gonna give you guys 3 setups as well, and I'm gonna give you guys the levels to that as well. Okay, so let's make sure that we like this video, right, and you subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, so. Habanero Hibachi, the buyers. hey, Mike, Antonio, what up, Antonio? What up, Davita? Yeah, Caesar was a bloody Friday, the best 6 months for stock market historically. The start of it, okay, you think it's the start of it coming down? Okay. He said could have made 75, but got greedy, took a little bit, and ended up on the wrong side. It happens, right? What's up, Drez? How you feeling? All right. So look, y'all, let's get into it, man. Let's look at Dr. V. What's up, Dr. V? How you been? I ain't been seeing your name, right? What's up? How you doing? All right, y'all. So listen, we gonna go over SPY, proper structure, structural integrity, sturdy. Okay, yeah. So watch this, y'all. All right. I'm pulling up the charts right now, and we gonna get into it. All right. All right. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You feeling better? All right. So this is a SPY, right? So these are levels from last week. All right. All right, so this is on a weekly time frame, right? So as you can see, so right here on Friday, last week, we had a failed 2 up, okay? We had a failed 2 up. So we closed on a failed 2 up right here. Go to Friday, right? Boom, okay? So we got some buyers stepped in and pushed it up. Buyers stepped in and pushed it up. And then sellers kind of smacked it down at the beginning of the day, right? If we go to the 30-minute time frame, they smacked it down right at market open to the downside. It tried to recover, and then it came down a little bit lower again, right? So that is what happened with SPY. So let's go to, all right, so back to the weekly, right? we go back to the weekly time frame and we on a fail two up, but we got this area down here. Okay, so this what happens. So we have this big candle right here. I want you guys to pay attention to this big candle right here. Okay, so because we got a fail two up here, I'm gonna be looking for a retracement. Okay, now if you guys remember the video that I did about retracements last week, put it in the comments. Okay, I did a video about retracements, right? And so what I'm seeing is a big candle right here, right? This is a big green candle. We could retrace this candle so that the stock can balance itself out, and then it could get ready to go to the upside, right? It's good that you back, Dr. V. What's up, Phoenix Flower? Okay. Craig said he been watching the first time in the chat. Okay. All right. So like I'm saying, right? So we have the SPY, and we have this candle right here. So remember what I said about balance, right? Remember what I said about balance. The stock needs to balance itself out, right? So look at this candle right here. It came all the way down here, and then what did it do? It came up, right? So it could balance it out, came down, and then it pushed up, right? Look at this candle. It came all the way down, and then the next day it consolidated to balance itself out and retrace this candle, and then it went higher, right? So look at this candle. It came down, right? Came down, and then what did it do the next day? It retraced. Okay, so this is not a big candle right here, but this candle, right? We could be retracing this candle from the 2 weeks ago, after we had this sell-off here for 3 weeks, right? And then boom, pushed it right back up. So now we could be coming down here to rebalance and you know, test this price action. So for SPY this week, okay, here's what I want you guys to focus on. Your weekly support is gonna be 679. $21. All right. 679.21 is going to be your weekly support, and then your weekly resistance is going to be 689.22. All right. Weekly resistance. All right. So your weekly resistance is going to be 679.22, and weekly support is going to be 679.21. Now, let's pay attention to this, right? So because this is support, here's what we do. We say puts below weekly support. Okay. And then we say calls above weekly resistance. Okay. Calls above weekly resistance, puts below weekly support, right? Now, the thing about the downside is we got buyers all the way down to 675, right? So you're not in the clear for puts until we break below 675.63, okay? So we could come down from 679.21. We could come down to 675.55. If we come down to 676, there's still a possibility we can bounce and we could go higher, right? So what I'm saying is from anywhere between 679.21 and 675.55, we can bounce back to the upside. So to the downside, I would really say pay attention to you guys' positions, right? Don't walk away like from the computer and stuff, because any of these areas we can bounce. Any of these areas we can bounce. Now, if we get below 675.71, then we could start seeing it really coming down aggressively, right? And we could come all the way down to 662. Right? Now, this is off the weekly. But if we go to the daily, right? If we go to the daily, we got this whole area right here, and this is down to 670. Okay? This is down to 670. So for tomorrow, right? For tomorrow, well, this is what I'm going to do. Got to go to the hourly. Now, what does this look like, y'all? Well, this is the hourly. On a 30-minute, it does look like a double bottom right here. Okay? So when we open up tomorrow, we could come up first before we end up going down. All right? So this is when you got to start really thinking, and you may say, okay, I'm going to stay away from SPY today, or I'm going to stay away from SPY this week, right? You may say that, or I'm gonna let SPY do what it does on Monday, and then that's gonna help me know how I need to trade it on Tuesday. But I'm telling you that tomorrow, there's no clear direction just yet. Just because we had a sell-off doesn't mean that it's gonna continue, right? We could literally bounce and come right back up, because on a daily time frame, we have a lot of buyers in this area. Right? And so they might just buy it right back in and then go back to the upside. Okay? So let me know if that makes sense, y'all. All right? Let me know if that makes sense. Exactly. Best B is respecting that fair value gap. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta really, really, really pay attention. All right. What up, Drew? How you feeling? What up, One Path? All right, so if you guys are tuning in, man, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We just went over SPY. I just broke it down, so I just want to make sure that everybody understands that game plan for tomorrow on SPY. I don't personally like the setup. For me, for SPY tomorrow, I would just kind of be patient and wait it out. I would trade something different that has a little bit of a clearer setup. Right? So that's just me. That's just my style. That's just how I do it, right? But I gave you guys that weekly support level right there. So obviously, trade that setup. Okay? So let's go now to IWM. Okay? Now look at IWM. This is on a daily, but this is on a weekly. Right? This is the weekly time frame right here. If you understand what's going on, it be clear as day, right? So we hit all-time highs right here, right? So anytime, right? Pay attention. I'm about to give y'all some game real quick. Anytime I see a higher high, I always check for bearish divergence immediately, right? So go here, go to the RSI, and let me see do we have bearish divergence on the weekly, right? We got a higher high here from this high. Let's look. Boom, boom, right? So we got slight bearish divergence on the weekly. It ain't crazy, but it's slight, right? Now, let's go to the daily. Now let's look and see what the bearish divergence looks like on the daily. Is it still there? Not really. Time frame. It looks like bearish divergence, right? On the weekly time frame, it looks like bearish divergence, okay? But On a daily time frame, it doesn't. So we may get a pullback this week on IWM, but it's going to be short lived because it's not bearish divergence on both of those time frames, right? So, or we might go up a little bit more and then come down, right? So you have to kind of pay attention, but then that's when we use price action as well to try to see, okay, what's my supporting information for my thesis, right? So then we go back to the daily and so, okay, we got this bearish 3-bar right here, right? We got this bearish 3-bar right here, but let's look at this. Bearish 3-bar, but we bounced on Friday, right? We bounced on Friday. So real talk, we could come and retrace this candle as well, potentially, right? So what I'm going to say is for IWM, let's go back to the weekly real quick. Let me give you your weekly range for IWM. Because on a weekly time frame, we bounced off of this fair value gap right here, right? So all right. So we got your weekly resistance is going to be 258.20. $258.20. All right. And your weekly support is going to be 250 flat. $250 flat. All right. So if we break below the support, get in the puts. If we break above the resistance, get in the calls. All right. But if we come down below 250, we could come down to about, we could come down to like 249, and then we could bounce crazy and go up, right? So be careful to the downside on your indexes this week. That's what I'm seeing, right? Be careful to the downside on your indexes this week. There's too many areas where there's too many buyers that could push the stock right back up. So it has to get below there for us to really be convicted about sellers, right? So this could be a bear trap, all right? Calls above weekly resistance right here. Now, but if we go to the daily, we might get a pullback first, or we might get a bounce because we close right here where these buyers are at, right? So you guys got to like, and then we go to the 30-minute on IWM, right? This also looks like a double bottom right here, okay? So for tomorrow, as long as we hold above 253.30, then we should be going to the upside, okay? As long as we hold above 253.30, then we're going to the upside. So that's what I want you guys to focus on is 253.30. As long as we stay above there, then we should be good to go to the upside, and then we could finish out this double bottom right here, and then the pattern can convince us, it can do what it does, right? Because if you look at Tesla, right, last week, look at this double bottom right here. Look at this double bottom. This is a beautiful double bottom right here, right? A beautiful double bottom right here, and it panned out, right? Hold on. Hold on, let me show y'all. There we go. Y'all see this double bottom right here? Right, a beautiful double bottom. It came down, it panned out, boom, right? That's on Tesla. If you look at Google last week, look at Google, right? They had a double bottom as well. Boom, boom, held this level, blasted off, right? So I like this area right here, right? I like this setup right here. So if we go to IWM and we looking at the 30-minute time frame, right? All I see is a double bottom right here. Okay? So for tomorrow, if we hold above, right, 253.30, then we could be getting ready to go up, and then we could, you know what I'm saying, finish out this double bottom right here. All right. So let me know if that makes sense, y'all. Okay. Let me know if that makes sense on IWM. Okay. Exactly, Best B. It wants to go where the liquidity is at. So if we close inside the liquidity, then we could go right back up. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the equilibrium zones. Yep. Yep. All right. Bitcoin slowly grinding down. It'll be nice to get it back to 74. Yeah, I think that it could go a little lower too. So we gotta with them we gotta be I guess open, right? And we gotta be patient with them. Okay. But yeah, so we got that. We got IWM and we got and SPY, right? So now let's go over the watch list from last week. A lot of you guys made a lot of money last week. In the comments and all the videos, y'all was blowing it up, right? So a lot of people, y'all had success this week. So shout out to everybody. And we gonna rinse and repeat that this week, okay? So let's go over the watch list and let's see what happened. All right. If you guys are tuning in, man, let me know where you guys are tuning in from in the comments below. All right. We make videos, go live every day. We make regular videos, authentic, original videos every single day as well about personal development, about the stock market, right? About money, about your mindset, all of these things. Every single day, I'm coming to you, and we've been putting out daily videos all year. Okay. We have not missed a day all year. Okay. And you could go back on my videos and watch that. We put out, we had 499 videos for the whole year this year. Okay. I mean, for the channel. So we got almost 500 pieces of content on this channel for you to consume and become a better trader, investor, human being, right? Whatever you want to become. You could become a better person when you come to this YouTube channel and you take this information that I'm giving y'all, right, as a gift seriously. If you take this stuff seriously, I can promise you that your life will never, ever, ever be the same. Okay? So, first ballot, what up? How you feeling? How you feeling? Shout out to St. Louis, Central Cali. What's up, James Bennett? Where you at? You in Fresno? You in Tulare? You in Visalia? Where you at, James? Okay. So yeah, just wanted to say that, y'all. Okay. So every day we definitely coming with some content. UNH looks like it's getting ready to rock it up. It's looking it's looking like a inverted head and shoulders. It's looking like an inverted head and shoulders. So it definitely looks like it's going to be going higher. All right. So let's look at the watch list and let me show y'all what we did. This week, everything was just going up. You just need money in the market. You just needed money in the market last week. Yeah. Thanks. The information is matchless out here. I appreciate that. He said Friday was nut. Yeah, we murdered the market before the first 30 minutes of the, really 15 minutes. Before the first 15-minute candle closed, we was up crazy. So, what's up, Auntie Angel? James, he said Roseville. I'm from Sacramento, so Roseville is not Central California. That's Northern. All right? I know exactly where Roseville is at. We used to play them in basketball in high school, right? I went to Natomas. High School. So, yeah. What's up, Doc? How you feeling, Darrell? I want to pull back. Yeah, I'll get into UNH. Yeah, it looks like it's going up. So let's go look at so let's see what happened with the watch list. Okay, so we're gonna go here. Okay, so boom. All right. So this is what happened last week. And like I say, one second. I do this every day. I mean, every Sunday. I like to go look at what I called the previous week and then see what the stock did, right? So the first one I called was ANET, double inside week. Okay. They're gearing up for a massive move, right? So let's go to ANET and let's see what happened. ANET. I said calls above 131.39, right? And I said price target of 138. If you look at ANET on the daily, right? Where did they go to? This was last Monday. So we got above the 131, and then they went up to 133, and then they ended up going up to 136, okay? So you could have played this a couple times throughout the week, and you could have made some good money there. And then we had Google, right? It was a one candle on a weekly, right? I said calls above 323, right? Above the high of that one candle. And then let's look what happened with Google, right? We go to Google, and then on a daily, no, I said on a weekly, right? They actually ended up breaking below the one candle, right? From 313, and then they came all the way down to 305, right? So the one candle is still did what it did. It just broke the lower side of the one candle rather than the higher side, right? So this is how you trade the strat. All you do is you wait until it breaks the high or the low of that one candle, and then it goes to the downside, right? Or up, and then it goes to the upside. So that's all you have to do, y'all. This is how simple trading a strat is. So even though it didn't go up, it's the same exact setup. It just came to the downside, okay? And then the last one that I called was SoundHound. Now SoundHound, let's look at SoundHound. Okay, so SoundHound, I said calls above $13. This was on Monday. They never got above 13. Well, they got it at 13.13, and then they rejected, right? And then they created a one bar, came up. So they're trying to come up, and then they rejected on Friday again. So now they look like they're potentially going to be going into a downtrend down to like $9, right? $9.80. So they rejected at that resistance level. It was right here, but I did say there was a rejection point at 13.46. It came up to 13.17, and then it rejected, which is the bottom of the fair value gap, not the middle. Okay, so it got some liquidity and then it came down, but it is going to go up, but it may take a little bit more time. Okay, so that is that's what the watch list did last week. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over this week's watch list. Okay, so we got some bangers. So stick with me, stay with me. All right, we talked about SPY, IWM, market analysis, market overview, right? Last week's performance. Now this week we're gonna talk about these setups. All right. What's up, J.O.? She said, got your hair done. Yeah, I had to get my hair done. I appreciate that. Top of the year next year, I'm gonna hit your Discord. Yeah, let's go, Phoenix Flower. Let's go. Joy, she said, only watching you for 2 weeks, and it's like a whole refresher course. I'm ready to join you to live trade with you. I feel confident that I'm joining the correct Discord. Absolutely, Joy. Yeah, come on. Come join the squad. Come join the family, right? We do this every day, right? You could benefit off my free content as well. So, yeah, come on and join, and let's get this money, all right? And everybody that's in the Discord, they already know what time it is, right? If we go right here, right? If we go right here, boom, right? We got Adam smacking the market, right? Started off red, but he finished the day strong. We got Doc, right? Shout out to Doc. We got over 5K in a day on Friday that he smacked. We got India. She doing her thing, right? She hit Nvidia. She hit him a few times. We got who is this? Nard. Yep, Nard. 100% on Tesla. G Dollars, right? Every day he making at least 100 to 200 a day. We got Ken Lee. He hit SoFi. Kent, he hit 30%, right, on SoFi. Charlie hit 100%, 56%, right? $1,100 right here. Okay. Marquin, he was up 600% right there on GLD, right? Another 600 bucks, another 300 bucks, right? 37%, 369% right here, right? I mean, we just got, it's just gains all day, right? Gains all day. Okay. So we doing this every single day. Another 600 bucks here, right? 800 bucks, 300 bucks. Alchemist 2K, right? That's $1,800 right there. So yeah, we don't just give call outs, you know what I'm saying? We actually empower you so that you can do this on your own. It don't matter what stock you trading. When you understand this stuff right here, you're gonna be able to change your life drastically. All right. I don't know what Bugsby is. Bugsy. I don't know what Bugsy is. So yeah. So that's just, you know what I'm saying? We got those results every single day in the Discord. So yeah. So let's go to this watch list for the week, right? And I'm gonna give y'all what I'm looking at. My setups. I actually like these setups a lot. I vetted them, so we about to get into it. All right. So if you guys are watching, be sure to like this video. Let's make sure we get this video to 100 likes by the time we get off live. And then also comment, let me know where y'all are tuning in from, right? And subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Okay. So we got first setup right here. Y'all ready? So first setup right here. What's up, Kello Kels? So first setup is going to be Taiwan Semiconductors. All right. Taiwan Semiconductors. Right. That's what we're looking at. So let's go to the charts on Taiwan Semiconductors. And let me break this down for you guys. All right. So when we look at Taiwan Semiconductors, what do I see here? I see a slight little double bottom. If you go down to the daily time frame, right, this is a double top. Okay. On the daily time frame, it looks like a double top. We got a top right here. We got 3 little rejection points, right? And then it came down, and then boom, right? And then it came down again. And we got the little neckline sitting right here. It looks like a double top to me, right? So that's how I'm gonna play it. And then when you look at the weekly time frame, right, we got a failed to up right here, off of all-time highs, and we got a liquidity grab right there. This is a liquidity sweep, right? So what this lets me know is we could really be coming down, okay? We could really be coming down. And this is a chip stock, right? If you look at Nvidia, right? Nvidia looks like it's on a what? A head and shoulders right here. This is the weekly, but also on a daily as well, okay? But on a weekly, the head and shoulders is even cleaner, okay? So when you really think about it, they could really be coming down. So if Nvidia is going to be coming down, right, and then AVGO, look at AVGO's chart, right? AVGO got a bearish engulfing on a weekly time frame. Okay, they could be coming down to 329, right? So we go back to TSM. Okay, we go back to TSM, right? So like I say, a failed to up on the weekly time frame right here, right? So I would say puts below 290, okay? If we break below 290.92 on TSM, you could take puts, right? Go to the daily time frame, right? Now we do have a rejection, a bounce area, okay? I want you guys to pay attention to this area. We could bounce at 287.03, okay? 287.03, right? We could bounce right here at 287.03. All right, so pay attention to this area right here, 287, 287.20, right? Bounce area. If we get below 287, right, 03-ish, then we could really come down to about 282. All right, to about 282. So I like TSM to the downside. Okay, that's my analysis. And then also from these previous highs right here, right? we also do have bearish divergence. This is deep bearish divergence right here. Okay, this right here is some serious bearish divergence. Okay, on the weekly time frame. If you go to the daily, it it had it not. You could kind of force it to look like bearish divergence, but on the weekly, I could see it clearly. Okay, on the weekly, we got clear bearish divergence right here. All right, so I think that it could come down to like 49 on the RSI. My price target would be 282.32, but we could get a bounce at 287.03. So just pay attention to the 287.03 area. All right. So that's my first setup right there for y'all. All right. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. What's up, B-Ham? What's your opinion of the Bank of Japan rate hike this week? I honestly don't have a true opinion on it, if I'm being honest. I'll look more into it, but to see what the implications are, but I don't have an opinion on it. Dialing in for my leg day from Gold's Gym in DC. Glad I found your live stream. Hey, salute, man. Did you were you able to play the market? You make any money or what? Yeah, it looks nice, Sean, for shorts. So that's my first setup, y'all. Okay, we got Taiwan Semiconductors, the chip space, the whole chip sector looks like they're coming down. So it's not just one stock, right? So when you got a whole sector getting ready to come down or looking bearish, then you could bet your bottom dollar that it's going to continue to, you know what I'm saying, go in that direction. Okay, so what I would say is, and I want y'all to do this together with me right now, okay? So I don't want you guys talking about how y'all missed out, all right? I don't want you talking about how y'all missed out on these plays. So what we gonna do, I want you to go inside your brokerage account right now, okay? I want y'all to go inside your brokerage account right now, okay? I'm in a Weeble, right? I'm in a Weeble. So what up, Mark Quinn? So look, this is what we gonna do. We gonna go to TSM, okay? We doing it all together right now, right? TSM, right? Taiwan Semiconductors, okay? Taiwan Semiconductors. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on that alerts at the bottom. All right, we're gonna click on alerts at the bottom, that little bell, right? And what did I say? I said puts below 290.92. So we're gonna go price below, right? Price below. Okay. We got 290.92. All right, price below 290.92. Okay, and then what you gonna do? You gonna save it. All right, that's all you gonna do. Now, when it breaks below 290.72, right? When it breaks below 290.72, you already know what time it is. Okay, I don't want to hear nobody saying they missed these trades. We just set our alerts together for TSM. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next setup. Okay, my next setup for the week. If you guys are tuning in, be sure to like this video. All right, get the likes up. Let's get this video to 100 likes by the end of this recording. And then also be sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in. So Kello said, the strap method is the truth. I just figured it out last week. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Right? Watch when you couple it with order blocks and all of that other stuff. It's game over for you. All right. So my next setup is going to be right here. Okay. We got right here. We got Apple. All right. We got Apple. I said calls above 280.03. All right, so let's go to Apple. Okay. All right. Boom. So this is the weekly time frame, right? So we got the weekly time frame on Apple. We got the weekly time frame on Apple. All right. So we got a retracement once again, right? Once again, we got retracement. This is what I would be looking for. Okay. We got a retracement, which is what I'm looking for. If we could get above 280.03. All right. So calls above 280.03. We just bounced off of here, right? Calls above 280.03. Now, we could reject at 282.27. All right, on the daily time frame, we could reject at 282.27 potentially. So we got to get above there to really go higher. All right, and I'm talking about closure. If we can't close above 282.27, then we most likely gonna reject and we're gonna come back down. But because we came down here and we've been holding this area, right? Hold on. I gotta go back to the screen. All right. All right. So we've been holding this area right here, right? We've been holding this area right here. And we consolidated on Friday, right? Then if we can get above that 280, then we going higher. And then we gonna go come test 282, right? 282.27. And if we can get above that, then we gonna go higher, right? So that's what I'm looking at on Apple this week. I like the setup. I like the setup off the weekly a lot more and a lot better, right? It looks very clean. It looks like a no-brainer to me. It failed 2 down on the weekly time frame. Buyers pushed it up, okay? Buyers pushed them up. And now we got nothing but room on the weekly, right? On the daily, we got a little bit of areas that we could reject, and that's why we want to pay attention to those areas and to those levels and those areas of liquidity as well. Okay? So if Apple makes sense, let me know, y'all. All right? If Apple makes sense, let me know. So what we just did was we went over SPY, right? We went over we went over IWM, right? I just gave you guys TSM to the downside, TSM shorts, and then also Apple calls, right? Apple to the upside, right? And then I'm gonna give you guys this other one, and I'm gonna give y'all a bonus as well because I'm feeling generous today. Okay, I'm feeling generous, so I got one extra bonus. All right, so stay with me to the end, and I'm gonna give y'all a bonus setup as well. So what we gonna do is for Apple, right? Let's do this together. Pull out y'all phone, and what we gonna do? We gonna go back to Webull. Gonna type in AAPL. All right, AAPL. If you got it on your watch list already, just go to the ticker. All right, we at AAPL. Okay. Now, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go to that little bar at the bottom to create alert, and you're gonna go price above. Okay, price above, and we're gonna type in 280.03. All right, and then you're gonna click on save. All right, save. Now we just set our alerts for Apple. Okay, we just set our alerts for Apple. So now you got your alert set for TSM, and then you got your alert set for Apple. Now, what you can also do is, if these break tomorrow, you don't have to swing trade them for the whole week. You can day trade them. If they make a $1 move, right? If they make a $1 move and you catch that, you could be up 30, 40%. You could collect profits. It comes back up, and then on Tuesday it goes down again. You could take that same exact trade. Okay? So he said, bonus, that's a Christmas spirit. Yeah, because I saw this setup. I didn't want to put it on the watch list, but I do think it's going to make a move. All right? I do think it's gonna make a move. So you was looking interesting. We could look at you. Let me go over the last one on the watch list for the week. Okay, the last one is going to be right here. 1 second. All right. The last one is going to be SMCI. Okay. Super Micro Computers. This looks like a layup for me, right? Straight layup. Puts below 32.30. Let's go to the charts and let's see, right? SMCI. Okay. So look at SMCI, right? On the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we have this bull flag right here. I mean bear flag. We got this move to the downside. They came all the way down from $54, right? Really, they came down from 60, right? And then look what happened. Came all the way down, right, to 30 something. And then look what happened. Came up, and then they just broke out of this little channel right here. All right? Just broke out of it. So, with that being said, SMCI, and you go to the weekly time frame. You go to the weekly time frame, and what does it look like as well here? It also looks like a bear flag, okay? It also looks like a bear flag, right? The only difference is on a weekly, it doesn't go upward. It didn't go upward as much, right? But we got this right here, and we got this right here. All right? So that's a bear flag on SMCI. Okay. We got a 3-bar on the weekly, and we also have a 3-bar on the daily. Okay. Bearish 3-bar on the daily and a bearish 3-bar on the weekly. All right. So if this doesn't go down, I don't know, because this looks so clear and obvious. And then we could come down to $27 right here in this order block. All right, so this might happen tomorrow. This one might hit tomorrow, honestly. So I'm gonna be looking at puts below 32.30. If you want to be conservative, you could even say puts below 32.20, right? So, with that being said, what we gonna do is this. We gonna go to our thing, right? We gonna type in SMCI, right? And then we gonna go to the icon, click it. Price below. I'm gonna do 32.20. Give myself an extra 10 cents. And then I'm gonna save it. Okay? Boom. All right? So, he said, I'm long on SMCI. Yeah, I feel you. It could bounce, right? But when I see a bear flag on the daily and on the weekly, it just makes sense, right? Yeah, see, he said anticipation on a pullback to $27, and that's my price target as well, right? That $27 would be my price target from the $32. That $5 move on a stock that's only trading at $30 is very substantial, right? That's very substantial. So if we could get that $5 move to the downside, I think that is right there. And then it could bounce off of that $27, $28 range. Okay? Excuse me. He said, I'm anticipating pullback at 27. I hope to buy more calls and leaps. Yeah. Yeah, they come down a little lower. They definitely look like they could bounce and blast off and retrace back up to that $60 mark. And if you get that even on equities, that's almost a 50%, thing right there. Are we expecting Apple to go up since it reached all-time high? Not necessarily, but because they're on my watch list this week and I see a failed two down on a weekly, and I see that they consolidated after they dropped and they started to trying to come up, then I think that they're gonna go up. But it's not because they just reached their all-time highs, right? That's not the reason why. The reason why is because the setup that I see and the price action that I'm reading, right? Does that make sense? So yeah, it's not just because they just hit their all-time highs. Because I've seen stocks hit their all-time highs and then drop by 15% in a week, right? Let me give you guys a good example, right? A good example of that is right here. Okay. Look at their all-time highs, right? Their all-time highs are 194 right here, right? OKLO hit 194, and then look what happened. They came all the way down to $80, right? In the span of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in a month and a half, right? So they hit all-time highs. That don't mean that they're gonna go right back to all-time highs, right? They gotta come down to where they came blasted off from, and then they're gonna slowly try to make their way back up. And on their pursuit to back to all-time highs, they're gonna get dropped down, come up, drop down, come up, right? So it's gonna be a journey to get back up to this 190, and who knows if they'll even get back up there. Okay. So yeah, so that's not why. It's because when I'm looking at Apple based off of the strat method, I see a failed two down. They bounced off of a fair value gap last week as well, right? So it looks like they're gonna be going to the upside. Okay. So that's why I would say Apple to the upside. All right. So we just went over SPY, IWM, Apple, SMCI, and then Taiwan Semiconductors. And also, we just set all of our alerts for those levels as well. So there's no reason why any of you guys should miss out on those plays. Okay? So let's look at you real quick. Somebody mentioned you, right? We'll go to you, Unity Software. Oh, wow. Yeah, that looks good on a weekly. Let me see. Oh, it definitely looks good. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, so it looks like a rejection, right? It looks like a rejection, obviously. Well, it doesn't look, it is from 52 to 46. But we got buyers here. So if they come down to 44, they could bounce and go higher and then retrace this wick right here. Let me go to the daily. Come down. Yeah, they could bounce right here, honestly, at this $45 level. I would be looking for a bounce and then go long to the upside unless they came below $45 on you. But this looks actually really good. I'm going to add this one to my watch list because that could be a nice play tomorrow. So shout out to that. All right. In phase, do you think the market is going to crash tomorrow? I mean, Dr. V said, let's get some more likes. Yep. Yeah, let's get some more likes up in here. You heard Dr. V, right? Respect what Dr. V saying, y'all. All right. Get them likes up. Do I think the market going to crash tomorrow? Well, first off, let's really like assess and, understand what a market crash is, right? Let me just, so that we could be technical here, right? Let me go to Google real quick. Okay. What classifies a stock market crash? All right. So it says right here, right? Well, let me go to my computer, right? So y'all could see on Google, okay? What classifies a stock market crash? All right, so let's look at this real quick, y'all. All right. A stock market crash is a rapid, dramatic drop in stock prices, often 10 to 20% or more in a short period of time, right? Driven by panic selling, major events, or economic crises, all right? Unlike slower bear markets. Okay, so that's what when we saying market crash. Do I think that the stock market is going to drop by 10 to 20% tomorrow? No, right? But but what I do think is we could come down because we have a because the Friday selling pressure was so strong that we could continue and then bounce up when nobody's expecting it, right? Or we could bounce up, we could gap up from Monday to Tuesday, right? So, with that being said, I don't think we're gonna crash. We could come down another 1 to 2%, depending on what the stock is. 3%. Some stocks tomorrow maybe down by 7%, right? 5%. But but with that being said, I do think that we're not gonna just be going down, down, down. Okay. What up, Alchemist? How you feeling? 100%, 10% more. Yeah, 10% is a correction, and then 20% is a bear market. All right. Um, so, I said I was gonna give y'all a bonus, right? So here's my bonus one right here. So we're gonna go right here. All right. So look at this. It's just on the chart. So we got OKLO, right? So on a weekly time frame, y'all, we have a one bar consolidation. Now, where did they close at, y'all? This is what I want you guys to pay attention to, right? Where did they close at? They closed in the same area where they broke out at, okay? So if OKLO breaks below 86.97, you could see a pretty big red candle all the way down to $60, right? $63 for real, but you know what I'm saying? So that's OKLO right there. This is my bonus to you guys. All right. 212 bearish reversal on OKLO off the weekly time frame. All right. Puts below 86.97. All right. That's what could definitely happen. All right. That's what could definitely happen here if the selling continues. Okay. Now, what do I think about in phase? Marcel called him out in the group on leaps like a month ago. So they're coming up. I mean, I think long term they're good if we go to the yearly. Yearly, obviously they're down. They may come down a little bit more and then bounce and then start to try to come up. But I think in phase could realistically try to come up back up to like 170, maybe over the next 24 to 36 months, right? If you go to the monthly, they're on this massive downtrend on the monthly, but it looks like they're trying to post their first green month in quite some time, right? If they really need to get above $35. If Enphase can get above $35, then they'll definitely pop up to $40, and then they could come up to even like 94 and then 66 as well. So, but they got to get above $35. That's what I see with Enphase. But I mean I think long term with Enphase, leaps and equities are good. All right. So yeah, y'all. All right. So that's what I'm seeing in the market. Like I said, he said I got a bonus for you. What you think about TMF? All right, let's look at TMF real quick. TMF. Treasuries. Okay. So TMF so they're in a real bad downtrend. They're all the way at $40, $37 right here on the monthly. On the monthly, okay, and go to the weekly. They look like they still coming down. They look like they about to come right back down to like $34. This looks like a layup. This looks like they're gonna come back down to like $34. On the daily, they gap down right here too. We got an order block down here at 36. So, um, I mean, they look bearish still, but they did just fill this gap. So, but they got a gap to the upside as well. So they could bounce, but I don't know. This is an interesting one, but this is a leverage ETF. So, yeah. Um, uh, being at the Feds, yeah, that's gonna be interesting with all those treasuries and stuff. Um, I had another bonus too. Who was it? Oh, I had one more bonus I was gonna share with y'all since this is the holiday season, right? I'm gonna share. I did not go over Lyft. Haven't really paid attention to them too much. But I did have one more bonus for y'all as well. This is Lyft right here though. They look like they gonna try to bounce again off this resistance. So this is a demand zone. So anytime Lyft comes in this area, it usually bounces and it goes up. So it might go up again, but when we looking at Lyft right here, I see a lower high, right? Y'all see that right there? So on Lyft, boom, boom, right here. So we could see Lyft trying to start to come down because it created a lower high up here. They could try to create a lower low and come down to this 200 EMA right here. All right, so that's what I see on Lyft. And then my other bonus for y'all is gonna be Rocket Lab, right? Now look at this. We got this order block right here. We just rejected off of this area right here, okay? After we just ran up, had this crazy run up right here from $40. Okay, so this looking like we could see a downtrend coming down on the daily, and if you look at the weekly, on the weekly it looks bullish though. Okay, on the weekly it does look kind of bullish, but so we got to get above $65 to come back higher. But I mean, this is the weekly, my bad, on the daily. So on the daily, it looks like we could come down. If we could get below $59, then we could be coming down, but off this order block right here. But if we do get above this $65 level, then we could be going higher. All right. But Rocket Lab could potentially be a nice short if we get sellers to start coming in and we start pushing down. All right. So saw good emails, right? Email some else. It's all good. So yeah, if you know where to put your money at, it will. Yep. So all right, y'all. So listen, so we just went over everything, y'all. So I hope that you guys are ready for the week now. I hope that you guys are ready to make some money this week as well. All right, make sure you guys are patient. You guys are diligent in your research, and you guys don't just take any crazy trade just because you know you want to take it. All right. So like I always say, make sure you get up out your head, go get into this world because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right, y'all. I hope that y'all have a great day, rest of y'all day. I hope that y'all have a great evening as well. I hope that y'all have a great week in the market also, y'all. All right. So y'all have a great one. I'm going to holler at you guys tomorrow. If you want to join the Discord, click the link in the description. If you want to book a one-on-one, click the link in the description as well. All right. I'm going to holler at you guys tomorrow. We're going to be going live all week. We're going to be finding some setups and we're going to be making some money together. All right. So y'all stay smooth and I'm going to holler at you guys tomorrow. Peace.